everyone. Welcome to the online session of web technology. We are starting from unit 4, that is server side technologies. So basically this unit is mainly containing the PHP, WML and Ajax. Okay, so first of all we are going to see the things related to PHP that contain introduction to PHP, its features, sample code, PHP script working, then its syntax, conditions and loops that are used in PHP, then functions used, strings manipulation, arrays and functions, form handling, cookies and sessions, and lastly, how to use MySQL with PHP. Okay, so first we will see what is the PHP or introduction to PHP. It is an acronym. Actually, it is an reverse acronym for hypertext preprocessor. The PHP was started out as a small open source project, but in short time it found as a very widely used tool by all the people. So it became freely available open source scripting language. Okay, so PHP scripts are executed on the server. As told before, PHP is a server side scripting language. Until now we have seen the client side languages. Then the PHP is free to download and use. Then how the PHP file contain, or what the PHP file is made up of. The PHP files can contain text, HTML, CSS, JavaScript and PHP code. Okay, it is not only limited to HTML code or only PHP code. It can be combination of all these languages or all these contents. Then as the PHP codes are executed on server, the result will be as your web page, like your HTML code. PHP files have extension with .php. Then what the PHP can do. PHP is mainly used to handle the file operations like creating, opening, reading, writing and closing. It is used to generate dynamic page content. Okay, it can collect any form data, or we can say it can accept data through form which is entered by the end user and save it on the server, like you are filling your exam form online, right? So at that time you are entering the data. That means you are at the client side and you are entering the data. Might be your name, address, phone number, and your previous exam details, right? So you are entering from the client side, that is you are the end user, and this data is being saved at the server side, right? So this is the basic feature of PHP. Then various operations like insert, update, delete and retrieval of data can be performed as PHP on the database. Okay, it can set restrictions on access of certain web pages if necessary. If needed, it can set access of certain web pages if there is need. That means, as told before, PHP is a server side scripting language. Server will allow you to edit some contents, or it will allow you to do any changes or do your own coding, but at specific time it will give you the limitations, like if you are modifying the content that are at the setting side, so that cannot be modified by the user. Okay, that content will be having the access to any change by the server side only. Okay, and the data encryption is also possible using the PHP language. Then the PHP With the PHP, you are not limited to output only HTML. You can output images, PDF files, and even Flash movies. You can also output any text such as XHTML and XML. Then, features of PHP. PHP runs on various platforms. So, basic features include it is very simple, interpreted, it is faster, it is open source, platform independent, efficient, and flexible. So, these features are main constraints of the PHP language. This question is asked for 8 marks, like what are the advantages of PHP over scripting languages, or might be the another question like list and explain various features of PHP. Both can be asked for 8 marks, or might be it will be asked as for 4 marks, two questions. Okay, so how it is simple, we can say that PHP mostly use syntax of C programming, and like C is your favorite language, right? It is very simple. You are writing printf scanf. matlab, uh, it is very easy to use. You have captured all the things in your mind, so it became very simple to use PHP as well, as it is using same syntax as you are using in C language, and it is interpreted like rather than compiled. The PHP code is interpreted. There is no need of any compiler. Then its execution is high, so it is faster as compared to other scripting languages like ASP or JSP. It is open source. That means the software do not have any license charges, or you can download it freely. Platform independent, as you can run the same setup of PHP code on the any platform like Mac OS or Unix or Linux or any Windows operating system. Okay, it is efficient because it provides various features through OOPS concept and also a rich set of function library which makes it efficient. We can download official PHP resource from www.php.net, and it is easy to learn and runs efficiently on any server side. It is very flexible. It can be easily embedded with HTML. All the HTML tags that are used in HTML can be used with PHP with all their attributes. Okay, whatever attributes we have seen in the HTML in first and second unit, that those attributes can be used fully in the PHP. It also integrates with other scripting languages like JavaScript or VBScript. Now, how PHP script is written, or what is the basic syntax of PHP? We'll see that PHP script can be placed anywhere in the document. It starts with the opening tag, the question mark, write the PHP, and it also ends with question mark and closing angle bracket. So the code is written within the tags as shown in the slide. You can see the default file extension is in the .php. So we are seeing the sample code to print hello world using PHP. Okay, so firstly what we will do, the first we'll start with the doc type HTML, that is the basic syntax we have already seen while coding the HTML code. Okay, so doc type HTML will start our code block. Then within tags will start HTML body tag and h1 as my first PHP page and close the h1 heading with /h1 and closing the tag. Then we'll start opening tag with the question mark and PHP written, then echo in double quotes hello world and double close semicolon, and now we are closing the PHP script. Okay, so again we are using the question mark and closing tag. Then we are closing the body and HTML. So this is the simplest program for printing hello world using the PHP. Okay, the second sample code we are seeing for variable declaration. So how the variables are declared using PHP? We are declaring any variable with the dollar symbol and followed by the value defined by equal to symbol. Okay, here I have started the code with HTML and body tag. Now the PHP script has started with the angle opening bracket and opening angle bracket with the question mark PHP, and now I am defining the variable. The variable as told will start with the dollar symbol. So I have defined here $txt as my first variable and I have given the value hello world to it. The second variable I have defined is $x equals to 5 and $y equals to 10.5. Now I want to print first variable hello world. Okay, so what I will do, I will directly start the echo $txt. So $txt holds the value hello world. It will directly print your hello world as it is. Okay, then echo break statement I have defined, then echo $x echo $y. Both the statements I have defined and closing the body tag as well as HTML tag. The output can be seen in the block as hello world in double quotes and the values of x and y variables, that are 5 and 10.5 respectively. Now these are the rules that I have told within the program, that how the PHP variables are defined. A variable always starts with $sign followed by the variable name. A variable name must start with a letter or underscore character. A variable name cannot start with number. Variable name can only contain alphanumeric characters and underscore like A to Z, 0 to 9 and underscore. Okay, the variable names are case sensitive. So $h in lower letter and $h in upper letter are two different variables. So while defining any variable or declaring any variable, you have to keep in mind all these rules. Okay. Then the third sample code is to output text and a variable. So again I have started the HTML and body tag, the PHP script as angle bracket question mark PHP. Variable I have declared $txt equals to webtech.com and I want to print the statement. So echo this is $txt and closing the PHP script, that is question mark and angle bracket, again closing the body tag as well as HTML tag. So this is the end of the code and it will output as the statement written in echo. This is $txt. So $txt holds the value as webtech.com. So it will output as this is webtech.com. Okay. Then the program for addition of two numbers. These programs are asked in exam for writing the code using PHP or Whenever you are asked to write a simple PHP code, then you have to provide this small programs like hello world or addition of two numbers. When the question is asked for how does the PHP work or explain the working of PHP script, or might be briefly explain the basic structure of PHP program with an example, at that time you have to provide a simple program by default. Then only you will give out of marks for that particular question. So here I have written program for addition of two numbers. So I have defined $n1, that is first variable, as n1 with the value 5 and n2 with the value 6, and I have summed up with the value with the another variable, that is $sum I have defined equals to $n1 plus $n2. Now we are about to display the summation of both the variables. So I have written the statement echo summation is and call the variable which is holding the addition of both the numbers, that is nothing but the $sum, and close the PHP script plus body tag. It will output the summation of both the numbers, that is 5 plus 6 equals to 11. Now the PHP variable scope. In PHP, variables can be declared anywhere in the script. You can define it anywhere. The scope of variable is the part of script where the variable can be referenced or used. PHP has three different variable scopes like local, global and static. So how the local or global variables are defined, we will see with the example. First, I have started the script as $php, sorry, opening bracket, angle bracket, the question mark and PHP, and I have defined a variable $x equals to 5. So I have defined it starting. Okay, I'm not defining it anywhere in the function. So $x equals to 5, this became the global scope variable. Okay, then I am defining a function my test. Okay, in that I am calling the value of that particular variable x. Okay, so echo variable x inside function is $x, and closing that function, then I am giving a call to same function my test. Okay, and then again I am writing the same statement, variable x outside function is, and calling the variable $x. Okay, so a variable will output as variable x inside function is, it will be a blank space. Okay, and variable x outside the function is 5. So why this output is as this? Because a variable declared outside a function has a global scope and can only be accessed outside a function. Okay, you got the point. When a variable is defined globally, it is having a scope for calling only outside the function. Inside function you cannot call that particular variable or global scope variable. Okay, now we'll see example for local scope. Again I have defined the same program. Okay, but this time I have defined the variable x inside function my test. Okay, that means I have opened function my test, and firstly I have defined $x equals to 5 inside that function. That means I have provided a local scope to that variable, and given the same echo statement, variable x inside function is $x, and After closing the function, I have given the call to particular function, and again I have written the echo statement as variable x outside function is and $x. Okay, so output for this program will be variable x inside function is 5, that value I have provided to x, and variable x outside the function is, that will be a blank space. Why this is so? Because a variable declared within a function has a local scope and it can only be accessed within that function. So you got the difference between local and global variable. Okay. Then the global keyword. When you want to use the global keyword, okay, when you want the access to a global variable from within a function. Just now we have seen the previous example for the global variable, like global variable is having access only outside the function. Within function you cannot call a global variable. So if you want access to a global variable from within a function, that time you have to use a global keyword for that particular variable. Okay, so I will define the variables $x and $y, and then I am starting the function. Inside function I want the values of x and y which are globally declared and I want to use inside the function. So I will use the keyword global $x and $y and providing next statement as $y equals to $x plus $y. So after finishing the function call, I have given the function run call and echo $y. I want to output the new value for that variable $y. Already the value defined was 10, but inside function I have summed up the values of x and y and stored it in the y. So there will be updation in the value of y. Okay, so as I have defined x and y globally and also called in function with the global keyword, the output will be as 15, that is x plus y, that equals to 15. Okay, the global keyword is used to access a global variable from within function. Okay, so here is a PHP comparison operators chart. So which operator you are going to use, its name, example and result I have provided in the chart. So first is equal operator that returns true if $x is equals to $y. Then triple equals to is used for identical. Generally we use double equals to for equality, but in PHP we are using the triple equal to as identical symbol. Okay, so $x triple equals to $y returns true if $x is equal to $y, and they are of the same type. Then for not equal to, exclamatory mark and equals to symbol, it returns true if $x is not equal to y, and greater than less than symbols are same as used in other languages, and as well greater than or equal to or less than equal to. Okay, so these are same as you are already using in like C++ languages. So next part is conditions and loops. So in PHP the conditional statements are if else if ladder and switch case, while the loop statements include while, do while, for and for each. The first we will see conditional statements and start with the if else. So if else, its syntax you know very well. If condition, the statements, else and statements. Okay. The example of that can be seen in the another block of code. I have started with the body tag and started the PHP script. I have defined a variable $n equals to 5. I have provided the value of n as 5 and now I have written the if condition. If $n mod 2 equals to 0, then the number is even, else echo number is odd. So this is the simple even odd program. Then second conditional statement is else if. So syntax for that is if in bracket conditions and statements to be executed, again else if condition statements, another statement or another block of code of statements, and else, that means if those conditions or those statements given in else if and else if are not true, the remaining code will be provided with the else statement. Okay, so here I have taken the example as $day equals to date. Okay, that is separated by line. Okay, if $day equals to Saturday, echo happy weekend. Else if $day equals to Sunday, echo happy Sunday. Else echo nice working day. Okay, so these are the three possibilities of a day, okay, that I have provided in the program. Then the third conditional statement is switch case. So switch case syntax is like switch, then start the expression in the bracket, and with the opening brace you are writing the cases that are to be executed within that block. So case, then constant expression, statements and break. So for every case you are providing a break. And lastly the statement is default and code of statements again, and close the switch case statement. Okay. So now I have taken the example for favorite color. So after starting the PHP script, now define the variable favorite color equals to red. Switch favorite color, started the switch case with this keyword switch and in bracket calling the variable that is favorite color. So favorite color I have already provided it as red. So now I am going to define the cases for color. Case red, if the case is red, echo your favorite color is red and break the statement or break the loop. Second case blue, it will print your favorite color is blue and break the loop. Then lastly I have defined the default case that will define as echo your favorite color is black. Okay, so it will output as your favorite case. Okay, then provided the while loop. Okay, so while loop syntax, the while condition that is to be true in bracket we have to provide and the code to be executed in the process. Okay. So as example, we have started the PHP code and define a variable $x equals to 1. While $x is less than equals to 5, it will print the number is $x and increment the variable. Okay, that is $x plus plus. It will be incremented by 1. You can also write $x plus 1. Okay, so condition, what is the condition provided here with the while? That is, if the number provided is less than 5, then only you have to print that number with echo and increment it with the 1. Then do while loop. The do while loop syntax is having do, the code to be executed, and after closing the do loop, you have to provide the while and the true condition with semicolon. It is shown in the syntax table. An example given is define $x equals to 1, do, started the do loop, echo the number is $x, break this statement and infect the line, and $x plus plus while. Now do loop is closed and define the while condition like while $x is less than equals to 5. Okay, so same program that we have written in the while loop is written with the do while as well, but only difference is that you will start the do loop and code to be executed, and after closing the do loop we will write the true condition with the while. Okay, and next is the for loop. The syntax for loop considered as for init counter, test counter, and increment or decrement counter. Okay, and in bracket code to be executed. So for loop we have started very well from the C language, like how you will define it for initialization, condition, and increment or decrement. Right? So same way you have to define it with the PHP. Okay, so let's start the PHP code for $x equals to 0, $x is less than equals to 10, and $x plus plus, and echo the number is $x. This is a simplest form. Then for each loop. So this for each loop we have not used so many times, so you have to practice it with your code. Okay, so for each loop is different from your for loop. Okay, so what you have to do, for each keyword you have to use for each in bracket the array as value, $array as $value you have to provide, and the code to be executed. So we'll start with the PHP script, and I have defined the variable colors with the array value. Okay, so $colors is my variable, and I have defined a set of array as that particular variable name, that is colors. Okay, so colors is holding the array of red, green, and blue colors. Now I'll start the for each loop. So for each $colors as $value, and in that echo $value. Okay, so it will be your for each loop.